with me while I talk about why we picked Amsterdam for our honeymoon. All right, so first we have the Veil Primer from Hourglass. This stuff stays so well under the Estee Lauder, but we always get asked whenever I told people we're going on our honeymoon to Amsterdam, people are always like, why Amsterdam? Because it feels like a very obscure pick, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why we picked it. Next, we're going in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I recently started using this, and oh my gosh, it has made a total difference. So like I was saying, it actually has a lot to do with timing in terms of why we picked Amsterdam. Next is the Fenty Beauty Concealer. But yeah, August is the only time that realistically we could do a honeymoon. We both work jobs that have high demand in the summer, so we knew we would have to wait until now to go. And that posed a problem with where we originally wanted to go, which was Italy. I'm gonna set my under eyes before I do anything else, but yeah, we were looking at coming to Italy this time, or Greece or Spain, and then a friend reminded me that they take holiday in August, and obviously love that for them, but that meant that it would have been a lot harder to find things that were open and actually enjoy our trip, because we would have been dealing with, the lack of locals there, which makes sense. Next, we're going in with some blush, and we wanted to avoid Paris because of the Olympics, and we also didn't want to go anywhere that I'd been before, and I've been to Germany, Switzerland, Poland, I've been to England, and I had not been to Amsterdam or, the Netherlands yet. So when we were looking, we decided that we wanted a place that neither of us had been, and he's never been out of the country, so it was actually a little easy with that, but we wanted a place neither of us had been. We knew we wanted it in Europe, and we figured this was a perfect way for us to start exploring the Northern European countries, because our goal is to make it back in probably March or February of next year for the Northern Lights. So we wanted to get a little bit familiar, even though obviously this isn't where you see them, we wanted to get a little bit familiar with the area. Now we're gonna set the whole face with powder. And we could have done like a beach destination or something like that, but my husband sweats a lot, like a lot. And so when we were looking on Reddit for places to potentially go, I was, filtering through what the weather was like in different places, what events are going on in different places, so that we could pick the one that was going to be probably the less crowded option, but still an enjoyable one. Because one thing about us is that we both get overstimulated very easily, and we knew that if we went somewhere super crowded, super touristy, it was not going to be fun. It was not going to be enjoyable. We needed a place where we could just kind of hang out, where we could find a cool bar and just, spend the day there. And next is some highlighter, and so we knew we wanted a place with more of an eclectic vibe. We wanted somewhere where we could really just kind of enjoy ourselves and turn our brains off. And so when we were looking through Reddit, I remember this got suggested, and as we started looking at it, we realized it was definitely pretty price friendly. There's a lot to do here in terms of taking in the local scenery, and really just enjoying essentially all of the places around here that are, definitely built for tourists to come and hang out. So we picked Amsterdam, and we decided to fly into Belgium because it actually allowed us to fly first class over here. We used miles. Pro tip, if you're getting married, get a mileage credit card, because you can build up a lot of them really quickly. Going in with some eyeliner next to give that classic 90s Pamela Anderson smoky eye. And so we picked Amsterdam after kind of a lot of discussion, and then we decided to do a stop in The Hague because we thought that would be really cool. And it's actually been super, super easy to navigate, even flying into Belgium and then coming over here via train. So I think one thing we were looking for in a honeymoon destination was a place that neither of us were going to be completely out of our depth in, and a place where we could, easily find things that reminded us of home if needed, because like I said, this is the first time out of the country for him, so he is learning a lot. Curling my lashes before I go in with the Maybelline Falsies mascara. And so we got in yesterday, probably around noon, which meant we couldn't check into the hotel yet, so we just dropped our bags there, which Seth did not know was a thing. Pro tip, when you're traveling, if you are arriving earlier than your check-in time, it's unlikely they have the room ready, but 9 times out of 10 they will hold your bag for you so you can still go out and explore. So we dropped our bags, and then we wandered around just to kind of get oriented so that maybe we could figure out a neighborhood to go to dinner, and then came back, took a fat nap, and then decided to go to dinner in the evening at this place called Roots, and just sat outside and enjoyed it. Although the Midwest in us really came out, and I was slightly embarrassed when the waitress told us. She was like, wow, we were really surprised you ordered the cheese fondue as a starter. And I was like, I'm not at this point. We're from the Midwest. I'm from like basically Wisconsin, so I'm not surprised that we wanted the cheese fondue as a starter. Gonna finish the look off with some lipstick from Sephora. So yeah, I think when you're looking for a honeymoon, we wanted somewhere low key. We wanted somewhere where we could just kind of hang out, where he wasn't gonna sweat profusely, and somewhere we'd never been before. And I know there's a lot of stereotypes about Amsterdam, but the reason we picked it is because it kind of fit all of our categories and allowed us to do 6 days here, which is the perfect amount of time, and still really get the experience that we were looking for. So I'll have a bunch of videos about where to go if you are looking at Amsterdam, but I highly recommend it as a honeymoon spot if you're thinking about where you'd like to go potentially in the summer or even in that late summer, early fall.